Would you recommend somebody to invest in a course?
Some people think e-commerce or dropshipping is a game of young boys who are 19 who on the side make some money. That's this myth which doesn't actually exist. It's a very tough and a very fast business. For me, coming from the wine industry, who had absolutely no knowledge in this field, it would have been actually impossible. It probably would have taken me 6 months to 12 months. I would have probably lost all my money and then I would have quit, because it's not as easy as it is anymore 5-6 years ago, ecom, right? You need more insight, more knowledge. So I wouldn't have been able to start my ecom business if I hadn't bought the coaching. I can help everyone lose money. It's not difficult. Losing money is easy, right? But how do you actually build a successful business? And I would always take guidance from people who are better than me in that field.
Is there work-life balance for an entrepreneur? Does it exist?
It's an invention of the unions.
Maybe.
Yo guys, welcome to the podcast. Amazing to have you here. For the guys that don't know you yet, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, my name's Max. I'm 29 years old from Italy. And together with my brother, we run several dropship stores in different countries.
Amazing. And Ecom, what did you do before Ecom and how did you eventually came into Ecom?
Yeah, that's a funny story. So we were wine producers in our previous life. Grew up on a vineyard in the north of Italy. And Max was in the wine production and I was in the wine sales. So that's what we were doing before.
How is the sales of wine? And how is that different to Ecom?
It's tough. Very different. You just go and knock on doors, like old style, you know? And it's really tough because you can only reach a certain amount of people every day. Because how many hotels or restaurants or homeowners can you visit in one day? Maybe like 10 or 15. Not everyone buys, not everyone needs wine. It's a luxury item, we shouldn't forget. So not so easy. Believe me, ecom is better.
And how many bottles a year can you, or did you produce? How would that look like?
We produced around 30,000 bottles a year, which we sold mainly here in like hotels and restaurants and everything, but also to many tourists who came to visit the place in the summer. Many people from Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland. And so that's what we did. Yeah. It's kind of fun.
The jobs were pretty much divided. Julian took care of all the sales stuff. And I was literally responsible for the real production, like from planting a vine into the earth, growing the grape, harvesting the grape by hands, and making grape juice and then eventually wine out of it. Okay. So,
how did you discover Ecom?
That's my story. I got some time off work in January 2024. And I knew I wanted to go somewhere far away, somewhere warm. But I said, I'm too old, I'm done with backpacking and all this shit. I need to go to a place where I can grow like mentally. So I decided for Dubai. And I remember a hometown friend who lives there. And went to dinner with him twice and went on some motocross riding in the desert. And he's big in ecom and he told me about dropshipping and ecom. That's how I then came home and said, hey Max, I have this idea, we should give it a try.
Yeah, I remember very well. I actually also wanted to go on that trip, but we were low in cash. So I was like, Julian needs to go there, I'm sure he'll come back with something crazy. And he did.
What was your reaction on this idea?
I've actually heard of it before, of dropshipping and ecom. And when he came back, I understood it was real, because this hometown friend which we knew actually did it with good numbers. So it didn't take long to be convinced. I think after a week we signed up for our first coaching, and after a month we were already doing our first 1K days with that coaching we signed up for.
Nice. Amazing. How that went from starting a Shopify store, opening a Shopify store, investing in a coaching, and then towards that 1K day. Because for some people that may listen, a 1K day is like the sky, but for you guys, within the month, you hit it.
Yeah, it was. It sounds all fun and entertainment, but at the beginning, for both of us, it was like really jumping into cold water. Especially for me, I was working every day with my hands for years, with machines in the winery, with the plants outside. For me, working on laptops, creating websites, creating stuff on Canva, it was like everything was new. I didn't know which buttons to press. So it was a lot of work. I remember the first few weeks, we would spend 15, 16 hours a day on our laptops until we literally fell asleep in front of the laptop. And But then after 2-3 weeks, we got the grip of it. And then I think after 24 days, we reached the first 1K day.
Something like that, yeah.
And that was the moment where we thought, we have something here, you know? And from there, we just kept working.
How was the feeling of achieving our 1K day?
Oh, that was very good.
Yeah.
I remember it clearly. The day wasn't the best until the evening. So we were on something like 400 euros in the afternoon. And I wanted really to do it because I have it on my goal list, right? And we had missed it already, like the week before. So then I thought like, maybe not. And then I went for a run. And during the run, we got 2 sales, which were like 300 euros in total. So we were at 700. And then the rest of the evening, we came like to 970 or 980. And the last sale was 10 minutes before midnight. And that was the 1K.
Yeah,
so I was very happy, jumping around in the apartment, like celebrating some huge shit. But it was actually just a 1K day. It was still good for us.
Yeah, it was good.
In 24 days, it's
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
it's
Pretty insane.
Yeah.
Can you maybe tell the listeners, because like Lucas said, it's a big milestone for people really that don't have any knowledge or experience in e-commerce. How was that 24 days? Take us through the days. What did you do to accomplish that first 1K day in these 24 days?
Yeah, I was waking up at around 7:30 a.m., I think. Already in bed, opening the laptop. Like, we're not the guys who have all these morning routines and, have breakfast and do this and do that. I just wake up, open the laptop, and then I would have breakfast like maybe 2 hours into the day. So we just rewatched all the videos from the online coaching, to learn, because it was still all new. Connected with other people, went through the notes we took from our one-on-one coaching calls. And of course, when you don't really know what you're doing. So it took us a long time. So we were just on the laptops, doing product research, then listing those products. Julian at the same time was already working on the creatives, then trying to connect everything in the back end. Facebook back end, like BM, employee 1, employee 2, pixel BM, all new. Like, it was a labyrinth. I had to call other friends in the coaching. We did Zoom calls, shared screens, where's the pixel, where's the events manager, and it was literally just finding all the different pieces, which were all like spread out in my brain, and finally putting them together until we had that one picture. And once you got the one picture, then we could actually make revenue. Before we had to collect all the pieces.
It's something completely different to winery, right?
Yeah, so different.
I was really bad at it at the beginning. I didn't even understand what creative meant. And then I was like too scared to ask, because I didn't want to be the guy who doesn't even understand the most simple words. And I thought like, creative, what does it mean, something creative?
We had to learn these
words
before we could implement them, actually.
ROAS, creative, all this stuff. And then, rewatch the video. So it was really like, you take 2 fish and you throw them into the Sahara Desert. Now swim. Yeah. But if you fail often enough and you don't quit, it's always the same story. It works out.
How did Ecom change your lives? Because you went from a physical work to digital work to that everybody here who's listening wants the freedom that Ecom brings. I think that is one of the most common reasons why people start. But what did it change for you?
It just changed everything. Like, we grew up at a winery, so your job is actually those plants that grow in that earth, in that soil, in that town, in that country where you live in. And the seasons of the year actually determine when you can go on holiday, when you can drive to Lake Garda, when you can take a flight, meet friends. Because if it's harvesting time, or if it's, in the winter there can be frost, or in spring, you need to be there, because plants don't have holidays. It's like owning a farm with animals, right? So I always, I never liked that, because I could not myself decide what I wanted to do and when I wanted to do stuff. And I had a lot of opportunities and invitations from friends or relatives, where I always was that one kid in the group that had to say, oh, sorry, I have to cancel the trip because I have to harvest grapes, I have to do this. And now with Ecom, like, I can work at the airport, I can work on a train, I can work at a cafe in Spain. I can visit and connect with way more people by still making money and doing my job. And that's what changed it for me. Like, that for me is the real luxury. Just not being dependent on something, but being free. That's luxury.
For you the same?
Yeah, for me also the way I think about money now, the investment I give to achieve great money in ecom is tiny. The investment I have to give for a physical company with a warehouse, with a tractor, with machines is in the millions. And then for 25 years you have to pay off loans and stuff, which in ecom doesn't exist. And that for me is the craziest freedom of all. Like you're debt free and you make normally way more than in your old life. You can move wherever you want to move. You just need Wi-Fi and a laptop. You can hang around wherever you want to hang around. You can skip winter if you want. You always live in warm, nice countries. Like I can never go back. It's too nice, too amazing.
So really the not really the financial freedom, but more the freedom of time, place.
Yeah.
Just
I always said if I can afford a really nice apartment, drive a really nice car, and have really good healthy food, everything else is just pure luxury. Then for me it's just freedom, you know? Where can I be and with who? Like the people I like. I don't want to spend time with people I don't like. So that for me is the real freedom.
Yeah, the luxury of choosing.
Yeah.
Choose friends.
Yeah.
Health,
Yeah.
food, places.
Choose people who share the same mindset. I was done with talking to people who think this is the most you can do, and if you only try to be better than the rest of them or that small village, you're like crazy or the bad guy. I was just so done. Just want to talk to people who say, yeah, you want to do that? Amazing.
Also the age, like in the wine sector especially, you deal with a lot of people between 50 and 60 years old, which of course is not a bad thing. But if you're then 20, 25 or 30 years old, you just never have other young people around you. And in ecom, it's the opposite. Everyone we deal with is our age, and that's really cool.
Well, almost
you have a lot more stuff in common, right?
Yeah.
You can talk about.
Sometimes even younger. Like we are now going to be 30 this year. Like many kids are like 10 years younger doing it, or 5 years younger.
Yeah.
But also just to confirm real quick, it's not that working maybe at a winery or in some other job is a bad life. It's what you want in life. And if you understand that you want more, for us, ecom was the right decision.
Yeah, so you're quite successful right now in e-commerce. We come a little bit more to that towards the whole podcast. But how did your family, relative, the hometown, friends reacted on choosing ecom and the success you had with it?
Yeah, most of the people around us didn't react in a very positive way. Not because they're evil people, just because they really don't understand what ecom is, which is quite normal. I don't expect someone who maybe was born in the 60s or the 70s to really understand how dropshipping works or all this stuff. So the reactions are still not very good. Only now that we share some results, the feedback is changing. It's becoming more positive, but still filled with a lot of doubt. That's why we want to move to different places where there's more people who understand this niche and who actually embrace this and don't go against it.
If you have one tip for somebody in the audience that is at this moment deciding if he should take a leap of faith in ecom or a whole different business and is afraid of what the other people would think or say, what would the advice be?
For me, read the book by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of How to Not Give a Fuck. It's one of the best books I've read. The title may mislead you or mislead some people and they think it's a superficial, not very good book, but it actually really teaches you to focus on just really important things in life and your vision of life. Like I believe everybody has a potential in life and you need to reach that potential. And if you never jump, like that parachute, it will never open. It can only open if you jump. Like it's dangerous to jump out of a plane, but if you don't, you can't open the parachute. And the worst thing you can do is live someone else's life. That's what we were doing for a long time at the winery of our family, like trying to fulfill the family tradition. But in the end, we realized it was really not for us. And you just start to get depressed. People around you get depressed. It's not good for anyone. So I encourage everyone to take that step.
Yeah. Good advice.
Yeah, I would add, if it's really scary, then jump, because the perfect moment will never come. And if you then always say, yeah, not today, maybe next week, week's gonna go by, turning into months, years, and then you're done.
Yeah. Life goes over quite fast.
Very fast.
And once you experience this and you experience that it's actually just other people maybe being angry at you for a day or even a week or a month, that's everything that happens. Nobody will physically harm you, you know. It's just a few words or a few opinions which everybody is afraid of on this planet. And that just shows you that it's like a cage most people live in, but it's not a real cage. It's just a cage built out of your opinion or your thoughts, which you can change like this. You can take that cage down.
Is it then also an advice that you would give to your younger self?
Oh yeah. Like we could have done this 10 years ago. Like I'm 29 now. I really love everything I've done so far, and I really appreciate it. I think it was amazing in my 20s. But if I could give that advice to my 19-year-old self, I'd do it straight away. Because I just didn't know at the time. I thought there's only these few options I had in life, and I had to take one of them. I really did not know that there's more than just what I thought was there. So, yeah.
Yeah, like move around. I only got into Ecom because I traveled to Dubai.
Yeah, talk to people.
If you just hang around with the same people for 20 years, you're not gonna even discover that this stuff exists. You know what I mean? That's why I say move, talk to new people, get out of your comfort zone. Then you can maybe also discover new things which you would like to do, which can be very positive for you and your surroundings.
So because of knowledge and experiences, your whole perspective of life itself changes. If you can give one advice to somebody how to change their mindset or their perspective on the things they're doing right now, what would that one be?
Yeah, for me it's always very simple. I also share this mindset push in our Ecom community with the students and stuff, like we are not hungry, we have too much food every day, we have a house, a roof over our head, we don't live in a country where there is war, so shut up. You're actually a very, very good life. You don't live in a dictatorship, you're not experiencing bad stuff. Good, then stop complaining and just start working more. Because we really all live a very, very good life here in the West. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
The rest is only luxury problems.
My big advice would be like really ask yourself, like really stay by yourself for a few hours, maybe a whole day, and just ask yourself, the stuff you're doing right now, or what you think you will be doing for the next few years, do you really, really like love it? When you wake up in the morning, do you really think, like in my case, it was that case, oh yeah, I can't wait to get it on that tractor and I can't wait to harvest grapes. Is that really your dream? Or if you're, I don't know, studying medicine, becoming a doctor because your parents think it's a good idea, like is that what you think about all day? And once I asked myself that question, I realized it's absolutely not my dream. So, and then I just imagined myself in 15, 20 years when I'm 50, and then think back, if I back then had the courage to like change a different path, you know? So ask yourself, do you really like what you're doing? And then if you discover that you're really into cars, I don't know, start a podcast about supercars. Apply for a job at Porsche in Berlin or in Amsterdam, just as an example. So yeah.
Cool. I think the biggest life lesson then, what you would give to people is pursue your dream.
Just listen to yourself.
Listen to yourself.
Block out all the noise, your parents, your friends, your relatives, everyone. And even if you went to this kind of high school, you studied, I don't know, history, you can still become anything. You can go and have a farm with penguins in Argentina, even though you studied history. It's really, because people think, oh, I studied this, or I did this internship, so now, of course, I will do the next step and follow that career. No. Why? Just change if you want to change.
And what is the biggest influence on these people's their thought, you think? Who are guiding this messages for these people?
You mean a message which keeps them in the school system?
Yeah.
And also then the families who are influenced by the teachers and everyone. Your whole life you're like indoctrinated. Like do this, do that. What are you doing? You should do the homework, you're thinking outside the box, not good, which is the opposite. It's actually amazing that some kid who is like only 10 is rebellious against the teacher and tells him, no, I want to do it this way. And that's how I think like many people like grow up and think they can't do more, you know? And actually everyone could.
So, for example, today it's just the normal Monday. We're here at Lake Garda, beautiful villa, great lunch, tonight dinner. Are you guys fulfilled?
Yeah, it's everything now since 2025. Everything is the way I imagined it and will continue this way.
Yeah.
Because we did take the step to freedom. And once you do that, your expectations do become reality. Of course, I didn't dream about this house maybe last night or 2 nights ago, but everything we're doing now is falling into place, which before it didn't because I was living someone else's life. Yeah. Once you live your life, all these good things start to happen for that person. And people are like, oh, he's so lucky, he's so lucky. No, he's doing what he wants to do or what he believes in. So
yeah, last night I also said to Max, like, isn't this like really sick? Last day I had to do like a job every day, like it was okay, but it wasn't my dream. And we only started looking at a coaching program and dropshipping. And now, only 1 year later, we are driving to Lake Garda to meet our old Ecom coach to do a podcast in a huge villa about success and life changes. Like, where are we going to be in 5 years, guys? You know what I mean? No, exactly. Like, it's really cool. Yeah. So every day I'm like, is this real? Like, my life, like, sometimes, you know, you need to understand, yeah, it is.
You need to be grateful for the things that happen. Of course, everyone here in the room works very hard to get where they are.
Yeah, it's not an entertainment.
It's not luck.
Concept.
Not at all.
Because you are saying a lot of people are seeing the successes or the way of living, all the things on social media, for example. But I think what they don't see are the 14 to 16 hour days that you are grinding behind your laptop.
Yeah. Always and everywhere. Driving here, I drove, he was on a laptop, then we filmed each other. We got a coffee on the highway, we filmed for our YouTube channel in the coffee station. The last 4 days it was a national holiday and days off for everyone in Italy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We worked every single day, but we do always. Like there is no day off or Sunday off or Easter.
For people that are listening, they think, "Oh, that is weird, right?" But yeah, I recognize it because it's the same. And it becomes so natural.
You want to work.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel I feel nervous if I didn't work yesterday because am I going to get the results? Am I going to achieve my goals if I don't work today? Like nobody's going to come save you, do it for you. That's what I learned.
And I think when you don't work a day, it's like throwing a day into the bin. And
It really depends. I think if you build a brand and you exit it for 30 million, okay, maybe I won't work for a week and go to Ibiza. Fine, I have 30 million in the bank. Right now I'm building. I cannot permit myself to have that luxury, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can, but you're just going to slow down your process. Yeah. So I think it really depends where you are right now. It doesn't matter what age you are, right?
That's also what is happening to a lot of the guys in Ecom. They see a little bit of money, they think, oh, I'm rich.
Yeah. Let's go party. Let's go buy bottles for 10K.
Yeah.
So it all.
Yeah, we haven't spent almost anything, right? We invested money in new structures. Now we need 2 new laptops, 2 new phones,
new shoes.
Yeah, okay, new shoes.
Yeah. No, seriously, like every penny is going into the business.
Yeah.
And actually, I think if you then hit that 10K day, 5K day, or whatever the goal is in the business, that is pure enjoyment. I then don't need to like spend that money. Just know I did it today. It's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and remember yesterday when we talked about it, we compared it to our old life where we had a normal salary at the winery. We would go to restaurants, go on holidays, spend a weekend here at the Lake Garda drinking, partying. And now, having their own business and actually making much more money, like I feel more fulfilled living really just on the basics now. Going to the supermarket, buy healthy food, eat healthy, go to the gym, get good sleep in the evening, no alcohol, no distractions. Now I feel better than living the good life before. So that's what many people don't realize. They think it's all about this work-life balance, that you work 40 or 50 hours maybe a week, then you just go and do whatever you want for 2 or 3 days. now when I look back, I prefer this lifestyle.
Is there work-life balance? Is that, for an entrepreneur, does it exist?
No. It's an invention of the unions.
Maybe.
No, it is, because it's not going to help you. You're just going to spend all your money. If you make normal money, normal salary, and you always get 2 to 3 days off, you're just going to be broke all the time. Because what are you going to do? You go out, eat, you spend on drinks, on parties. It's not going to bring you forward, not only money-wise, also mentally. If you maybe did something with this time, something which gives you more value, that's good for yourself and for your mind. Then you're much happier. Yeah.
Because you are really building your dream.
Yeah, that's freedom.
Yeah.
You already touched on a little bit of goals, but what are some personal goals and what are some business goals you want to share?
Yeah, so this year, as of end of June, my monetary goal is to reach 40K in net profit, not between each other, but each. So 40K each money-wise.
Monthly basis? Yearly?
Yeah, monthly, yeah. Because that just changes your life, right? Like 10K a month is good, 15K, 20K as well. But once you go over that 30K a month, everything changes because you can just do things you really could not do at 5 or 10K a month. So I really want to reach that step now this year in the next 2 months. And then on a personal level, move away from Italy, connect with other very positive-minded people, and just build a whole new network of friends and business people, business partners.
Wow.
Yeah.
The same?
Yeah, kind of the same. Like end of the year, we want to really like move to Dubai, like permanently. And of course that takes good planning and also some money, of course. And not move there and then like, how are we going to pay the bills? No, move there and we can go full on business the next day. Everything's going to be fine. So that's the big goal for this year. Of course, we have some materialistic goals, but we said first we will fulfill this change of location. And when that's all set, when that's all good, then we can go buy, I don't know, a watch or a car or anything else. So that's the main goal for this year. Mm-hmm. And also, which helps me with business a lot, is also working on the body. I still want to build some more muscle, look a little bit better than I do now. And then I'm really happy this year. Yeah.
A little bit deeper into Ecom, you guys share a lot of content on your own personal brand or personal profile, the business profile, I must say. I see screenshots here and there. What are you currently building? What are you currently doing?
Yeah, so right now we're working on 3 different stores in 3 countries. One of them is up and running since November. The other 2 are rather new, and we want to bring them all 3 by the end of May onto the same level. So then also diversify the risk, right? If you have an issue with one store, you still have the other 2 which are running really well. Because we had once the experience where we had really good success with that one store. Then we had some issues with ad accounts or structures and stuff, and it took us 3 weeks to come back. And 3 weeks is just too long in this game. This game needs to change tomorrow. Your game needs to change tomorrow if something happens today. So that's the main goal with the business for the next few months.
Yeah, solid. You're tagging sometimes EasyScale as an Ecom provider. How did we help you with your goals, with your building your Ecom journey?
Yeah, EasyScale for me is just a very good partner, because I always look at the what a partner actually brings into the boat. And EasyScale just has great customer service, in my opinion. Every time I need something, I write a message on Slack, and I really do get an answer within maximum 1 or 2 minutes. And even if it takes longer than an afternoon or a day, they always get back to me, which is not very common in the ecom space. With other companies, sometimes 1 or 2 days go by and they just forget about it and you need to remind them. And EasyScale just takes care of my requests I have with ad accounts and structure setups, are very responsive, open to new ideas and discussions. And I think it's just a great agency to work with.
Yeah. How is the performance-wise? Because sometimes you put ROAS.
It's very good.
5.7, I saw that. Also 7 point something.
Yeah,
that's
people that don't know ROAS, can you explain what it means?
ROAS means return on adverts spent. So it means like you put in €1 into a meta ad and maybe you get €3 of sales. your ROAS is 3, right? Because of what you gave in, it was times 3. So if you have a 3,000 euro day and you had like 500 in ad spend, you had a ROAS 6, because it was 6 times. And we often achieve these kind of numbers. That's why I'm very happy with EasyScale, because Max always takes care of the back end in the company. I do the ads and stuff, and of course then profit sheet and everything, the sales, and the ROAS is always like 3.5, 4.6. We had now 7.2 one day, 5. So which means also our profits, because revenue is nice, but profit is more important, right? The profit average this month is now 36% profit. So that's really, really delicious.
Yeah.
And the month before it was 31.8. So that's how you want to work, right? You don't want to do 500K on a profit of 9%. Would be nice to have a 30% profit.
100%. You can, in less do 500K, you can do better. For example, 250K with 30% profit margin.
Yeah.
Because you earn.
Yeah.
A lot of people only look at the revenue, and revenue is also very important.
Yeah, sure.
But the profit is the thing.
I heard something so nice, and this revenue is for the ego, and profit is what feeds the children.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really true, because I think a lot of people who are viewing this 500K revenue, that means that you're rich.
You can be negative.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can be broke.
Have a few refunds and then...
Can you explain a little bit what's the difference between revenue and real profit?
Yeah, sure. Like revenue can be anything in the world. You can have companies which do $1 billion in revenue, which can actually mean you could be completely broke if you have like 1.1 billion in expenses. You always need to make sure you have a nice profit. Then also, for example, in fashion dropshipping, what we do, wait 2 months, get some refunds, which is normal, and then calculate again. And if you then earn still a great profit, which means you can save some money for your, let's say, personal living expenses, you can invest it into your company and save for the future, or invest in other stuff. And that's why you need healthy profits, so the company can grow. If you have tiny profits, maybe you need it for your lifestyle, and then there's nothing for the company. But you actually need good profits so the company can grow. Or even when economy and other stuff changes, your company needs to adapt to changes. And without good profits, it cannot even adapt or change. So that means you're going to go down.
If you can give a tip to one of the viewers who are in Ecom with an average ROAS of 1.8, profits are between, if they're lucky, 5 and 10%. What is that one tip to get them to better ROAS and better profit margins?
Increase your AOV, meaning increase your average order value. So maybe having a bit more expensive prices or higher prices of the items, offering more bundles maybe, just encouraging the potential client to spend more money after he clicks on your store, because that will just increase your profits a lot. Like you just said, ROAS 1.8, it's not good enough. If you have a break-even ROAS of 1.5, you need to be doing at least ROAS 2.5 to be like healthy with profits.
Yeah.
Give the client trust. If your store provides a lot of trust for the client, many who click will buy, right? So it transforms into money in a high ROAS. If you have many people who come on the store, but maybe, I don't know, the offer isn't good enough, the trust is not good enough, I leave, the ROAS is low. So also that is quite important, to make it as secure for the client as possible and give him real value. Like, not try to make a quick buck on the internet and then leave. Like, give the client real value. That helps a lot, I think. So we also added custom packaging for the customers. They get a really nice bag with our logo. Inside the bag, a nice thank you card for shopping on our online stores, giving them an extra discount if they want to come back. When we get customer messages, we made sure with our customer service agent, they reply like as fast as possible. It's not possible that a client has to wait hours or a day for an answer. So you really have to be careful about that and get back to the customer and try to find a positive solution for him, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we really are pushing.
I think a lot of
our company.
A lot of people in the e-commerce are just thinking only in the front end, getting the money in, but
keeping the money.
Keeping the money is the most important one.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to keep the money? And what can happen if you lose the money?
It's not difficult. You just need to start learning all about systems, right?
if you don't have a good system in place to hold the backend together, it's like pouring wine into a wine barrel and there's holes everywhere. Like you can pour in a lot of wine, but eventually the barrel will be empty.
Yeah.
So you just need very good customer service. We always recommend in-house customer service because the approach will be much more personal towards the client. That helps a lot. And then of course you can work with some chargeback prevention tools, automated tools which help. And just take care of your customer, right? Like you're not taking away this customer's money. He's giving you money and you're giving him something for that money. It's a deal, right? So you should treat him also with that respect.
Yeah.
So,
also working closely together with the supplier helps a lot.
yeah.
If we sell something really well, we want to scale it, we always get a quality check, but not only a picture. I want a video where they also speak in the video, like, I don't know, today's date or my name or something, that I know they took it now and they show me the product right, or they try it on and stuff, so I really know, okay, this is good to scale.
Yeah.
So,
Did you hear a lot of stories that people scale products that they didn't check or with no backend?
Yeah.
Can you share some stories?
Yeah, sure.
Not from yourself, but of course you heard a lot of stuff.
We heard, you hear of people scaling up to 15k days, promoting the wrong material on their site, right? They write cashmere, but then it's polyester, and that of course doesn't really go well with clients who expect a really nice cardigan or something, and then they get something that is completely different. Having no customer service at all, almost, or scaling up just because they found a winning product and not even having a supplier ready, and then after they've already scaled for a week or half a week, then just looking for a supplier who will fulfill. So the client will probably wait a month or maybe 6 weeks for the product to arrive, and then it's even the wrong material.
Yeah.
If you do that once for 3 months, you're gonna do 100 or 200k, and after 6 months you'll be probably in the red numbers, 50k maybe. So really don't recommend.
And flagged forever by Shopify.
Yeah.
So for the people that are now viewing this and they have maybe a winner, they're doing 100 euro a day or something like that, and they don't know anything about systems, suppliers, agency, ad account. What would their approach be, or what can you advise them to do?
If you're alone, you don't have a network, you're not in a coaching, go on Facebook, or on Twitter, look for groups about dropshipping, about e-commerce. Just make a post, hey, looking urgently for a supplier or for backend or whatever. There will be people that will reach out to you. That's the fastest way to get connected. There's other online portals where you can look for really good specialized employees online. So that really helps.
Would you recommend somebody to invest in a course? Did it change a lot for you guys?
And what did it change for you guys?
It's not the what did it change. How would I have started without a course? I wouldn't, because some people think e-commerce or dropshipping is a game of like young boys who are 19 who on the side make some money. That's this myth which doesn't actually exist. It's a very tough and a very fast business. So you need really good systems and really good people to run it. And for me, coming from the wine industry, who had absolutely no knowledge in this field, it would have been actually impossible. If I think back now, it probably would have taken me 6 months to 12 months. I would have probably lost all my money and then I would have quit, because it's not as easy as it is anymore 5-6 years ago, Ecom, right? You need more insight, more knowledge. So I wouldn't have been able to start my Ecom business if I hadn't bought a coaching. So it's mandatory, necessary for me. If you want to be successful, I can help everyone lose money. It's not difficult. Like, losing money is easy, right? But how do you actually build a successful business? And I would always take guidance from people who are better than me in that field. Even if it's in the wine industry, you could take classes from a pro winemaker. If you want to be a footballer, go and ask Arjen Robben for a football class. But don't ask an amateur footballer to teach you how to play.
Yeah, you can look at the difference. They did it in 24 days. We did it in 6 months.
To maybe over
5 years ago. For what was it? No coaching, no courses. It was brand new when we discovered Ecom in general. It was 2017. Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
2016, 2017.
It would be something like that. So it was a whole different game. It was also very easy. No product page. No, we had Molly for the Dutch people. They know Molly. Just a different game. And I think right now, with all the things that are currently changing, now you can do so much with AI. But if you don't know how to use it, it still is difficult, right? So yeah, because now for the guys who are seeing this, you guys are also coach within the program. How was you went from winemakers to joining the course for millionaire commerce? I was your coach. Then you did a little bit on your own, and then you joined an extra in other coaching. How is it? And then now you're coach. How is that all going?
We joined Guli's coaching community in October. And then we were students there until like February, March, and we achieved then I would call them very good numbers. But it's not only the numbers; it's also the mindset you bring into a community. We were helping everyone out and just trying to give value a lot and lots of positivity. And then Guli offered us to be coaches in his community, which was really amazing to achieve this goal. Because I remember last year our goal was to become coaches, and very successful, and become coaches then in millionaire commerce, but we didn't hit that goal because we just weren't good enough. That's life. But we didn't give up, and then we became coaches in the end in another community. So if you keep on going, maybe that door closes, but another one opens. Yeah. And so now we have been coaches for like 1 month, and we have students and we host Q&As, and I really, really like it. That's why I do it.
Yeah, it feels very familiar actually, because we always visualized that already last year as students. When we were your students, we always said, very soon we will also be coaches. So it just feels right, you know. Yeah. Like if you really want something, then it happens. Of course, I remember my first one-on-one coaching call and stuff was a bit shaky because you switch roles, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like you don't ask the questions anymore.
No.
It sounds simple. But up here, it's a big shift, right? But now, after a month, it just feels so natural. It's like where I saw myself last year, and now I'm there, so it just feels perfect.
You say, and you mentioned something very important, and that's visualization. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I only started doing that like when I started e-commerce, because I wanted really a radical change in my life. Like when I switched from wine business to e-commerce, it wasn't like a slow shift and I said, I might try it out. Like I was convinced this will be my new life, but I knew it will be hard and a long process and a long way. And at the beginning, there's nobody there who tells you, it will work, come on, I'll push you, I'll help you. The opposite, people actually talk against you, they try to make you quit your new adventure. So I knew I had to do something which would assist me myself and even manipulate my own brain. So I just started visualizing every day. So visualizing, for everyone who doesn't know, is you imagine like where you're gonna be or who you're gonna be in the future, and you can close your eyes and you imagine it like it was real. And you really say like I am making 40k a month. I am a coach in e-commerce and stuff like that. And that really helps you to have more confidence when going down that shaky road at the beginning, because there's nothing to hold on to but your own willpower. So I just use it as an assistance to myself.
And does it work?
Oh yeah, it works. Of course, you don't reach every goal on that day where you imagine it, but if you don't stop, you'll reach it maybe a few months later, a few weeks later, and that is still fulfilling that vision. Because if you hadn't made that vision, okay, maybe you missed the date by a day, a month, or even a year, but eventually you get to the goal. And if you hadn't set that goal in your vision, well, for sure you're not going to get there. So without goals and visions, you can't actually go anywhere.
You hear a lot of people talking about visioning it or manifesting it, but how do you really, in practice, do it?
Oh, you write it down. So I take a piece of paper, I write it down, and I go outside usually, and I read it loudly to myself. So for all, let's call them other normal people, you look like a sick person, like walking around reading stuff to yourself, which is absolutely amazing, and it's fine. Go do it and believe in it, but don't forget about the hard work. I made a mistake in the beginning, visualization and everything in a really like serious manner every day, but the work wasn't enough. Then the universe is not going to give it to you. If you put in lots of work and manifest it, it will happen. Like for example, in October, like the goal was in October to reach our first 5K day, and of course we then missed it. We then wrote it down again for November and December. We missed it again, but as Max said, we then kept going, and we actually did hit it then in the new year, and then went much further than that. So you see, maybe it was a little bit later than we planned, but it came, and now even better. And for us, that last year was incredible. Now it's just very normal, like average day maybe on one of the stores. So you see how this big goal, after time and after a lot of work, turns into routine. So you always have to put yourself under huge pressure, otherwise you cannot grow. You will not even stay the same, you will go backwards.
Yeah. How did manifestation help us? Because I think it is for us also a big thing.
I think a lot. I think in the beginning when you start hustling, everybody starts with a dream, right? You started with a dream, and that was like, I want to... It's given by somebody, or it's given by the universe. A lot of people just go against that dream and say, it's not possible, etc. But I think in the beginning when you have that dream, okay, you start with little things. For example, starting your first Shopify store without any coaching, but you start out trying. And everything starts with trying, and you fail. It's completely normal. But then the visualization and that part, believing in yourself, is something that comes later on in your path, I think. And which role did it play in our lives? A lot. And I think if you look at everybody that is doing the biggest numbers in the Ecom scene, or every scene, as it's agency or crypto or Forex, it doesn't matter, they all have that manifesting mindset.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we manifested every single thing that we achieved right now, from the clothes we wear, to the location we are, to the revenue we do, the businesses we have, the coaches we've become, the clients we have for literally everything. And the biggest tip to everyone who's listening, just manifest it. Just do that. It will change your whole life, from the person you want to be to the parent you will become. Everything. It will change everything. Yeah.
And the moment you have that unlock, and you know the potential of it, nothing can stop
So what you said, right? Everything falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's meant to be.
Yeah, you need to walk through a door to get to a new room, right? But it's literally like aiming at the door. Yes, you will have to open it and walk through it, but you need to choose which one. That's visualizing, right? It's like with a trained soldier with a gun. Yeah, he needs to pull the trigger, but first he needs to aim at the target. If you can't aim at the target, pull the trigger. You'll shoot anywhere, but you're not gonna hit the target. So I really enjoy it a lot, and sometimes like you really actually reach that goal exactly on that day, or even a few days earlier than you expected, and that just gives you like an extra confidence push, because in business confidence is so important, right? Like there will be mistakes, there will be obstacles, but if you're only scared and you don't have confidence, it's not gonna work, right? You need to be confident that you can overcome the obstacle.
Yeah.
It's very
courage. Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable to think in this way, I think.
Yeah.
I think if I say it for myself, it's very uncomfortable to, especially in the beginning when you don't know that it's existing and you don't know that it's really working, and you said it when you're walking to the park, reading to yourself, everybody is looking at you. Well, what is he doing?
Be fearless.
But be fearless, and he doesn't give a fuck about what other people.
Don't give a fuck. And also, I learned this from some other business owners where we're from. One of them told me when we were like 20 years old, it's just a question like how much are you prepared to suffer? It's really like that. If everything wants to be soft and nice and never out of your comfort zone, you will not even play in the 5th or 6th league. You will not even play football. If you are prepared to like train more, work more, suffer, don't go to parties, don't go to watch Netflix at 6 p.m. Maybe work until midnight, but not one night, not 2 nights, 5, no, 2 years, guys. Then stuff starts to change.
No.
Yeah.
And you spoke about 2-3 years. Where are you guys in 2-3 years? Of course, Dubai, but
okay. I just wanted to ask, like location-wise or business?
Business, but also personal.
So business-wise, this year we really want to open our own brand, like open a really cool brand which we can push and also exit in a few years and make it big and also become very good Ecom coaches. That's a big goal. And that I think for business is the goals, and for personal I just want to have a great family and make a few millions a year. I have some numbers written down for the next 5 to 10 years which I want to achieve, I will achieve, and then there is nothing I cannot do in life with those numbers.
Sick.
Yeah.
For you the same?
Yeah, for me, like next year, my goal is to do 100k net a month. That's 2026, and you asked about 2 to 3 years. 2028, I don't have a specific figure, but multiple millions for sure. Because I always wanted certain experiences and certain also materialistic goals in life. And I know that they can only be achieved with those kind of revenues and profits. So in the end, when you choose your job, it's also how much do you want to make money-wise in life. So that's also a big reason why we chose this niche. And some people say, oh, you only do this for the money. No, not only, but I just really like business. I like making money. For me, that's really fun. Other people like to work at the zoo because they like animals. Amazing. And for me, I like making money and then, of course, investing it and all that stuff. So I just think it's also great to say this publicly. Most people would never do it because it's always, a bit like this when they talk about that stuff. But I don't mind it because if I visualize it, I can also say it. And if I don't have the courage to say it, how can it even happen? If I don't say I'm prepared to make 5 million a year, how would the universe ever give me 5 million if I can't even say it? I'm going to hide it under my bed. What am I going to do?
And this is the definition of manifestation.
Yeah.
Just speak it out loud, live it, and it will become a reality.
Teenagers and stuff.
Time
people
goes
at home
past
said,
just
it
so
will never
fast.
happen. But of course you can make it happen.
Yeah.
Of course.
And time just goes past so fast, right? When we all speak to our grandparents, what do they always say? Enjoy your life because it goes past so fast.
Yeah.
We all think we're like 20, 30 forever. Tomorrow we're 60. And then what if we didn't do what we actually wanted to do?
A
big
shame.
mistake, yeah?
Yeah. You set materialistic goals, right? And a lot of people, especially online at the moment, you see a lot of boats, cars, flashy stuff, watches, spending 100k in bottles at a night. I think some people feel it's a shame to have materialistic goals, for example, the watch or the car. I don't think it's so. How do you look at that one?
So, I really like to have nice things. What I don't agree on so much is like spraying champagne in a club for 50,000. Even if I can afford it,
No.
It's just not me, like I don't want to do that. But have like a nice car, a nice house. For me, those things is also a bit like pain medication, because all the mental stress and all the mental pain we entrepreneurs go through, there has to be a reward, right? So like to tackle that mental stress and pain, I just see those rewards. It might be a car, it might be a watch, it might be a hiking trip in the Andes, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. For me, it's more like also pain medication to like even out all the stress you go through. Because if you don't reward yourself, if you always say, no, I'm going to save it, I'm going to save it, I'm going to save it, what are you doing actually? Like, why? There has to be some sort of reward.
Yeah. There are trophies.
Yeah. Also, it's a confirmation of that what you did worked, right? You can actually see, it proves that my vision was reality. and I like proof. I always like, that's why we also share so many results on our channels. Man, we have so many good friends who text us every day. Oh, I wouldn't do this. On this story, people were able to see the name of one of your stores, and there your ad account showed, and the agency you work with, and they're gonna copy you. Try to keep up with us. I have nothing to hide. I will share what I do, because if I visualize it, I can say it out loud. And of how many people who actually see what you do, how many people of those are actually going to copy you and be successful?
And then can they outwork you?
Yeah, and even if they copy me and actually be successful with that, that makes me very happy, because what I actually did helped someone else to also be successful. So it's for me just a win-win situation to share what I do and share my results. I have nothing to hide. I was hiding my whole life being the winemaker because I was not living my real life. So now having this freedom, it's like, I don't know, it's like, Red Bull, that gives you wings. It's like flying around.
Yeah.
So that's really great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful story, beautiful to see how you guys evolved from the winemaker when I started you coaching you guys to where you are right now, successful in Ecom, living, I think, a lot of dreams that viewers have, freedom, success, wealth. Yeah, great. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. If you have something to say for all the viewers, it's the moment to say it.
Just really
take the opportunity.
take the
Do
opportunity.
it.
Look at yourself in the mirror, take a day or maybe a few hours and really ask yourself, are you really happy? Will you be happy in 10 years with what you're doing right now? If not, change your life. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll go down a tunnel, you might not come out, and you don't want that.
I also have something to end this. Don't be impressed by anyone.
Yeah.
Your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your friends, if they don't want to talk to you anymore for 10 years, okay, it's my life. I have to do it, not you, and then just do it.
Yeah, and on this note, we end the podcast.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you so much.
1 second, because you're already for such a long time a client with us. We also have a little present for you.
That's nice.
1 second.
Thank you.
A few moments later.
The hotel or nothing.
I made money. So you made a podcast, make people happy, and you made money.
He comes.
Sick, huh?
And the present now, like it doesn't get.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Easy scale bag.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Thanks, guys.
And there's also
I needed a new bag.
to travel and shit.
Perfect.
Gym and everything.
Oh, even bottles.
so we have a bottle for each of you,
Yeah.
a key card for each of you, and one of the bags for
Nice.
travel.
Good. I'll put my gym key on here.
Easy Scale Media.